hundreds of thoughts about the election. Everybody does. And, it's almost become trite. Everybody has their own talking points and all that. I try to narrow it down sometimes to think about, we all know that, one candidate did this and that and the other. None of it very good as far as being a criminal and that sort of thing. But we all know what he does. And so I try to figure out, exactly why do people vote for him? What do they exactly think he's going to do for them? I mean, I was just watching his rally in Pennsylvania, and all the college kids were behind him with red hats and that sort of thing. And I just wonder if they know that he, had to pay money because of his rent practices in New York, that he was a racist in that sense. He had to pay money because of Trump University being a fraud. He lost all kinds of money with casinos back east. There's Trump steaks. I mean, you could go on and on. I mean, I don't know if they, and so I say, what does he say or do that they want to vote for him? They must think he's a strong guy, or this is the biggest whiner that ever walked the face of the earth. I mean, he's like the poorest example of a fifth grade bully I've ever seen. I mean, I just, would you want your kids to act like he does? Would you want your kids to make the excuses he does? Everybody's come after me, everybody this, that, and the other. I'm doing this for you, poor me, whine, whine, whine. And you look at it, it's, like the election that he lost. And he continues to lie about it. Of course, all the sycophants around him know that he's full of crap and a liar, but their interests are for themselves anyway. But I look at it, and I look at my grandchildren, and I wonder if my grandchildren are playing in a soccer game or a basketball game, do I want him to be their mentor? Do I want him to be their example of how to act if it doesn't go well? Like everybody in this room, hopefully all of us taught our children, you're not going to win all the time, but when you win, be humble. When you lose, do it with grace. We all do that. He doesn't do that. And so you wonder, all the people who support him, would they want him to teach their kids? So I got to tell my grandchildren that, I guess, if they want to be like Trump, I got to say, hey, no, today you're going to win, because there's no way you can lose. And if you do lose, it was rigged against you. So don't buy it. Don't buy it. You got to figure out who to blame. Blame those referees because they were against you. Blame your teammates because they didn't play well and they should have maybe given you the ball more. But you don't have to accept that. And just keep saying it. And just keep saying it. And to the little kids, what's really good about it? You keep saying it over and over, and all of a sudden your life will be a little bit easier because you'll become delusional. Because you'll actually believe some of the lies you've been telling yourself. And then you don't have to worry about shame and guilt, because when you're delusional, there's no shame, there's no guilt, and life becomes so wonderful. And that's the kind of things I think about when I think of him. He's a pathetic individual, a small man who has to make everybody around him smaller so that he thinks he's going to be bigger. And isn't that the same thing we told all our kids in grade school? That's not how you act. That's not what you do. But there's those college kids behind him cheering. And I want to know why. Do they think he's going to get him a job? There's no policies, but we're going to get after Kamala Harris because somebody says she wasn't specific. She's been so specific compared to him, it's ridiculous. I just heard it again. I got his policies today. It's going to be great. It's going to be the greatest economy ever, just like it was before. People call me all the time and tell me, oh, taxes, we're going to take care of that. It's not a problem. We're going to take care of that. There's nothing there except jibber jabber. And they're students. They're listening to him. I don't understand what's going on in their heads. So he's pathetic. He's small. He's a whiner. We all know that. But, you wouldn't have him babysit your kids. You wouldn't hire him if you had a small business. You want that man in your business? There's no way. But you're going to vote for him for president because he's strong? I mean, Kamala Harris whipped